Hello peeps, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I did tell you guys I would do my chili beans with cornbread, but let's get started. So for this chili, it is going to yield and serve roughly 10 to 15 people. I'm not just making it for my small family. We do have leftovers and I do plan on inviting over some family to eat with us. So you are going to want to just chop into medium diced, I would say not too big, not too small, 2 bunches of celery. And I don't keep the leafy part on there. I think just for the chili, it's going to be too bitter. So I do trim off the bottom as well as the leafy top. Once I did finish the celery, my pan was hot enough for the meat. This is 5 pounds of ground beef. I just threw it in the pan. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to let it get a nice brown crust on it. Once it does develop that crust, I will go in and start to mash it with a potato masher. But for right now, I am going to let it develop its flavor. Once I start to mash it up, I will add some salt and pepper. I just got a huge bowl so I can throw all my veggies in. Now I'm working with 2 yellow onions. I'm just going to dice them as well. You want your veggies to be around the same consistency. That way they all cook at the same time. This is just a medium dice again. I go long ways. Let me show you here. Once I get some cuts in there, I turn it around and I head the other way, just a chop, and this is your traditional dice. Again, you'll need 2 yellow onions for this recipe. Here I have some jalapeños. The recipe did call for 3. These were on the large side, so I'm just going to do 2. Now, if I do invite family over, some of them aren't fans of heat, so I did remove the seeds and the ribs. That is where the heat is. Now, on these ones, since it is a spicy pepper, you do want to do a small dice, a very small cut, just so that no one bites down on a huge piece of pepper. Once you have finished chopping these up, please keep in mind that you were handling hot peppers. Wash your hands really, really well. I find if you mix a little bit of dish soap with some salt, it does take off the oil from the actual pepper. If you noticed, I did do the exact same thing. I went long ways strips and then I'm cutting across. So I am kind of trying to do the same dice here, but I'm just going in and chopping it very fine. Again, we don't want anyone biting down on a huge piece of pepper. It is going to cook down, but it will still have that bite to it. So we just want the flavor. We don't want the huge punch in your face. So as soon as I'm done getting this all chopped up, I'm just going to add it to the rest of my veggies. That looks pretty good to me. I don't want to spend all day chopping and chopping and chopping. My meat is looking great. Now I'm being very, very, very careful because I do have a lot of grease and it is extremely hot. I am working with the Dutch oven. So the oil is, or the grease is actually 2 times hotter. Twice as hot. So I'm just breaking it up very, very carefully with a spoon. Once I have broken most of it up, I will go in with the potato masher just so that I can get that ground beef consistency. So definitely in the beginning, take it slow. You don't want to burn yourself. Use caution as much as you can. Once you get huge pieces broken down a little bit, then you can start to work it with the potato masher. And I am working over medium heat because I don't want the chance of it bubbling onto my arms. So now I'm just working it in with the potato masher. Again, I am going down very, very slowly. I don't want that grease to spill all over. And now just giving you a recap of our cans. We have 5 cans of the kidney beans, 4 cans of the pinto beans, 3 cans of the diced tomato, Kroger brand, 2 cans of the rotel. This is mild. And then we also have 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. All of those are going to go in. I am just going to use some of the juice from the cans, and as well as our veggies, those will go in too. Here's a neat little trick to get rid of your grease. I take an old jar that I'm no longer using. I cut a water bottle in half. I use the top part with the spout where you drink the water. I put that upside down in the jar and I use it as my own funnel. This way, if I don't make it in the jar, it's still going to hit the sides of the water bottle and go right into the jar and make no mess. As you can see, I did transfer to a bigger pot. I added all my veggies in there. That's 2 bunches of celery, 2 yellow onions. Now I'm going in with my 3 cans of diced tomato. Put those all in there. And then we are also going to hit it with all of our cans of beans. Keep in mind, I am going to recycle all of my cans, better for the environment. And I am just going to use the juices from 2 of the cans. So 2 cans of the kidney beans and then 2 cans of the pinto beans. The rest of them I will strain. And I'm just doing that so I can give my soup or my chili, whatever you want to call it, thicker consistency. I feel when it's in the juices it helps everything come together in a way. Now that I got all my beans in there, I am adding the 2 cans of rotel and my 6 ounce of tomato paste. I am just going to go ahead and give that a little mix. And plus, don't forget, we still have to add our seasoning. I will break down everything I'm adding. And please keep in mind, I will have my recipe down below. It's actually my mother-in-law's recipe, so shout out to my mother-in-law. But I will leave all the ingredients as well as the measurements down below. Firstly, we are adding in some cumin. That's just 3 tablespoons of cumin. Use whatever brand you like. Next, we are going to hit it with 4 tablespoons of chili powder. We really want that flavor, that smokiness in the background. That's 4 tablespoons. Next, we're just going to hit it with 3 tablespoons of paprika. This was also on sale. It was only $1 at Fry's. Now the next ingredient is cayenne pepper. It did call for 3 tablespoons. Again, I have family that doesn't like heat, so I'm only going to add 2 tablespoons for now. And then I am going to crush up 2 tablespoons of oregano into my palm. That does just bring the flavor back to life. It is a dried herb, so you do want to just rub it in the palm of your hands just to sort of bring it back to life. Once I add my seasoning in, I do give it just a little stir. I am going to add a little bit of salt and pepper afterwards. I just want to get my seasonings all mixed up in there first. Once I add my salt and pepper, I do cover it, and I am going to let it simmer on medium-low for at least 3 hours. So I am setting the timer. Just let it go, develop those flavors, and we'll see it soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. The recipe will be down below in my description. And again, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow at Busy Mama T. Bye, peeps.